The most brutal story you've never heard of. She left home to pick wildflowers, and was never seen alive again. This isn't a Hollywood movie. It's not a campfire story. In the summer of 1982, in a quiet, fog-covered town in eastern Kentucky, a girl named Clara Belle Renshaw vanished. 3 days later, they found her in a shallow creek. Her face, almost unrecognizable. Not from time, but from what had been done to her. This case is one of the most brutal murders you've never heard of. And it's still unsolved. Clara Belle was 17. A preacher's daughter. Known for her quiet grace, and her voice in the church choir. She lived in a small, white house on Sparrow Hill. Everyone in town knew the Renshaws. Respected them. On Sunday, August 8th, after the morning service, Clara told her parents she wanted to walk the Old Mill Trail, to collect wildflowers for a school project. She promised to be home before supper. She never came back. At first, there was no panic. Maybe she'd stopped to see a friend. Maybe she lost track of time. But when the sun slipped behind the trees, and the evening fog began to roll in, her parents called the police. By nightfall, neighbors were out searching. The sheriff, the football team, the whole town combed the hills and woods. It took 3 days to find her. They found her in a shallow creek, half a mile from the trail. She had been stabbed 42 times. Her hands and wrists were broken. Her fingernails torn. The coroner said she fought like hell. Her face was mutilated. Not by water. Not by decay. By rage. There was no sign of sexual assault. No robbery. Her clothes were still on her body. But there were two things that made investigators freeze. A torn page from a church hymnal, stuffed deep into her mouth. And tied neatly around her ankle. A red string bracelet. Her family had never seen it before. It wasn't hers. The whispers began almost immediately. In a town like Mountain Hollow, there are no strangers. The sheriff said the murder felt personal. This wasn't random. It was intimate. Some blamed the traveling tent preacher. He'd been in town the week before, preaching fire, judgment, and sin. Clara had gone every night, alone. The night after her death, he was gone. Vanished. Others suspected the mayor's son, Kyle Gentry. Clara had been seen arguing with him at the diner. He had a temper. And a history. When questioned, he admitted they dated briefly. Said she ended it. But her diary didn't mention him at all. Instead, it spoke of someone else. Someone she feared. But in every entry, their name was covered in thick black ink. Erased, with intention. 1 year later, there was a break. A drifter was arrested in Clay County, 50 miles away, for burglary. When deputies searched his satchel, they found women's keepsakes. Hair clips. Photographs. Jewelry. And a torn hymnal page. With the words Clara B. written in pencil. The sheriff called Mountain Hollow immediately. But before the man could be questioned, he was found hanging in his jail cell. It was ruled a suicide. The evidence? Lost. The hymnal page? Misfiled. The satchel? Gone. And Clara's case went cold again. For 25 years. Nothing. The Renshaw family moved away. Clara's brother joined the Navy. Her father stopped preaching. Then, in 2007, something strange. A visitor to the old Mount Bethel Cemetery noticed Clara's grave. Beside it, a small, hand-carved wooden cross. Tied around the cross, a single red string bracelet. The same as the one found on her ankle. No one knew who left it. No footprints. No cameras. Just silence. When police reopened the case, they discovered most of the files were missing. Interviews. Photos. Reports. It was as if someone had been erasing Clara, piece by piece. To this day, no one has been arrested for the murder of Clara Belle Renshaw. Her name has faded from the town's memory. From their records. But late at night, when the mist rolls in over the Old Mill Trail, some say they hear singing. A girl's voice. Soft. Faint. An old church hymn. Like the ones Clara used to sing. Mountain Hollow may want to forget. But Clara hasn't gone anywhere. This is the most brutal murder you've never heard of, and it's still unsolved. Subscribe to Cold Stories for more cold cases.